Hey guys, so this is the second character that will be featured in 3.7 CN version of Reverse 999, Miss Stranger, and this is the preliminary analysis for her kit. Alright, so first let's start looking at her insight at the start of the battle, or at the start of the round after losing self-destruction of the week, which means after she use it or somewhat it disappear, generate self-destruction of the week to the leftmost slot in the spell dock. This spell, however, is fixed and you cannot move it and you cannot use it. Only if the card is at the rightmost, then it is unlocked and now you can use it. Upon using it, it is a single mental damage. I'm gonna assume it's gonna do a lot of damage. And this is the active special incantation. What does it mean? It means that it's counted as actively using. Okay, so whatever you do, you click on it, is actively using. It doesn't cost AP and is counted as an ultimate. And based on the actively used incantation ultimate in the AP area, this is strengthened in 4 ways. So I believe that as long as the card is in the spell dock, you use any incantation, it will boost it up. If it's a single target attack or debuff, it will increase the mental damage and further increase the mental damage on the main target. If it's a mass attack debuff, then now it doesn't just hit one enemy, it hit multiple enemies. So you use it one time, now it hit two. If you use it another time, then it hit three. If it's a buff counter, then it increases crit rate and ultimate might. If it's a heal or channeling skill, it increases crit damage and incantation might. Which card to use in order to buff it up? To be honest, I think you can't really plan because I will explain about the gameplay, and I think that is how she works. So you can't really plan this, you just use whatever card that comes. And it has to be on the right side of her special incantation because you want to move this card down and move it to the rightmost slot as fast as possible. If you keep using the card on the left side, then that card is not going to move. Okay, so which is why you can't really choose because you just want to use whatever card that is on the right. Her Insight 1 ultimate does not count towards spell dot limit. This somewhat, I think it should be fine. Okay, I will explain about the rotation, so it should be fine. But basically this makes the incantation slot from 8 to 9 when the ultimate comes. But if the self-destruction of the week is already right at the end, then it doesn't matter. So that is how her rotation will be, because when the self-destruction of the week goes all the way to the end, she will get 3 Moxie. And likely in the next round, then she will get the ultimate, right? So the rightmost card is at the end, ultimate is at the front. So it doesn't really matter because you will be using her ultimate anyway. Insight 3, when entering battle, the first self-destruction of the week move right sever slot from the showcase is 4 slots, okay, and will be strengthened. When enemy afflatus resistant meter, the white bar, reaches 0, Miss Stranger gains self-preservation, and I do believe in her rotation, possibly she will be able to make the enemies afflatus resistant down to 0, maybe every 2 or every 3 rounds. And I do think that it should be 2 stack of self-preservation. Yeah, I will explain that when I'm talking about her skill. But anyway, self-preservation, consume when receiving self-destruction of the week. Based on the stack, consume, move self-destruction of the week to the right and strengthen it. And her skill 1, Woman in the Cocoon, single mental damage when at the left of self-destruction of the week in the spell dock before plate, deal extra mental damage. When it is at the right side, Miss Stranger will gain self-preservation. Again, from the showcase, it is 2 stacks. So let's say now you have 2 stacks and you get another 2 stacks from breaking the enemy's afflatus resistance. Then now the self-destruction of the week is right at the end. You are going to use it. In the next round, you will consume all of this self-preservation, assuming now you have 4 stacks, and the special incantation will now move 4 slots down, right? So this is the same at the start of the round where it moved 4 slots down. Okay, so I do think that that will be her rotation. So yeah. Skill 2, Photostat Instinct. Mass mental damage to all enemy. After hitting, inflict self-deception. Self-deception. Decrease damage resists when being attacked with self-destruction of the weak. Self-destruction of the weak. Critical rate and crit damage increase. So use this right before using the special incantation to ensure that, yeah, the special incantation will do more damage. Also, make sure that this is active when Miss Stranger will be breaking or basically reducing the Afflatus resistance to 0 because she will trigger the special incantation's attack as well. But I do believe that that will happen when you use the special incantation. So after you use special incantation, that the enemy breaks, then you trigger the attack one more time. Now for her ultimate, an involuntary remembrance, dispel all negative status and stat downs on Miss Stranger and enter Born Anew. Give self silent flutter. So Born Anew increase damage resist and damage bonus. When actively releasing self destruction of the weak, increase its penetration rate. Silent flutter after Miss Stranger breaks an enemy of latest resistance by any active casted incantation. Consume silent flutter to release an extra destruction of the weak. So I have just mentioned that just now. So this is not counted as extra attack. Okay, not an extra attack. And has several stats of all for strengthening. The one that increases mental damage, increases crit damage. So this one automatically have all. The one that you cast actively, that one is based on the incantation that you use. So basically, her team. What is her team? Well, from the showcase, it doesn't seem like she belongs to any specific archetype. So, but I do think she is definitely a DPS. You want to build around her. And at the moment, she doesn't have any archetype because you do want to use the incantation on to the right of her special incantation, no matter what that incantation is. So it's kind of random in a way. So here, number one, team with unit that doesn't care much about which incantation to use. There are a lot of characters that doesn't really care, right? So in the showcase, they specifically put Rhinon, Lopera, and Robusca. Lopera and Robusca, once, only the first round or second round, you need to care a little on what to use, but after that, you really don't bother. But for Rhinon's case, she does have a certain rotation, as I mentioned in the other video, but her spells are AP free, means she doesn't consume AP, right? So in that case, it practically helps Miss Stranger because if the card is on the right side, you can just use it without using any AP, so you can even select more cards after that. If it's on the left side, then you just use it. It doesn't matter as well because it doesn't consume AP. So I kind of understand why the showcase featured such a random combination of characters, right? Anyway, skill two. I mean number two, unit that deletes card. Like Charon, Flutterpage, He Guang even reduces the limit, so it's even better. But remember, her attack are not extra actions, so Flutterpage boost and He Guang damage boost probably will not work. Okay, so they are gimmick if you ever bring them, is just to bring the card all the way to the right as fast as possible. But Charon is interesting because Miss Stranger's attack gain both incantation might and ultimate might, and that is usually what the Dynamo team is all about. So I do think that she can use the Dynamo support team like Ulrich, Sharon, and then Enigma. Also, this character, apart from Ulrich, that you need to use both of her channel incantation, but after that, it really doesn't matter what card you use. In fact, you don't have to use any card. For Charon as well, you don't have to use any card. Enigma, kind of the same. So they should work very well with Miss Stranger. And for number three, character with +1 AP. More AP means more cards. So we can remove from the spell log by using the incantation itself. I forgot to mention about Broom. Let me think a little bit. Broom, you need to use the buff card. It lasts for 2 rounds, and then the ultimate. Broom does has a certain rotation, but we will check that out when she is released. As for her gameplay, first of all, focus on the cards to bring it to the rightmost. Okay, so use whatever that's on the right. And when the card hits the rightmost, she gains +3 Moxie. So basically, she just need to use her own incantation twice. And that is S1 and S2. Plus her ultimate, she overall needs 3 AP because the special card doesn't use AP. Not in a way doesn't take up AP slot. It just doesn't use AP. It's AP free. And between each cycle, hopefully she can break a Flater's vulnerability at least once. So I get 2 self-preservation and include 2 more from her skill. So I have 4. Okay, so here, assuming round 1, it automatically moves down by 4, right? And you use all the incantation. Okay, the best is if both of our incantation is also there. So if it's not, you can reset it. I mean reset the stage. Then yeah, with with 2 of our incantation on the right side, use it. And here you will get 2 self-preservation from using S1 on the right side. So in round 2, she will get 3 Moxie, and then that generates her ultimate. Reset your incantation and use her ultimate and S2 because S2 will then inflict debuff. Now use her special incantation. Hopefully the special incantation, I do believe it should break the afflatus of the enemy, and that will give her 2 more self-preservation. And since you already use her out, it will trigger another attack, which is the special incantation, right? So you will trigger it again. So now coming to round 3, you have 4 self-preservation. So the special card will be generated, and then it will move down 4 slots. Okay, so here, her S1, since we didn't use it in round 2, because we reset the incantation, so her S1 should be there. So now in round 3, her S1 must be on the right of the special incantation. And then now we use it. That will give you another 2 stack of self-preservation. And use whatever incantation that's on the right side. And if you use up 4, so by round 4, it's back to round 2. You get 3 Moxie and then you get her ultimate. Then you do the same thing, repeating round 2 and 3. So again, doesn't matter who you bring with her, it should work, okay? Unless you are using a certain unit that have very specific rotation. So it will not screw up Miss Stranger, right? It will not mess up Miss Stranger's rotation. It will just mess up that own character's rotation. And if it needs to maintain that rotation to provide buff to the entire party, then that character probably will not be able to do so. So in that case, don't use those characters in Miss Stranger's team. Okay, use someone that has a less strict rotation. Alright, that's all for this video. Thank you very much and have a good day.